Hey y'all, Josh here today, aka the world's greatest dad, and what we have here is the ACMount P100 car jump starter. And today we're going to unbox this bad boy, take a detailed close look at it, give it a full field test, see if it's something you might need to pick up as well. So with that being said, let's get it. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. When you pick this thing up, it's going to come to you in a box just like this. Let's get her opened up, see what we're working with. All right, and here's everything you're gonna get in this package. We've got our nice storage case right here. Definitely appreciate that. Here is our P100 jump starter unit, our smart jumper cables, our USB-A to USB-C charging cable, along with a detailed instruction manual and a customer support card. Now the instruction book looks a little thick, but that's just because it's in so many different languages. Take a closer look though, it's about 8 pages in English. Going to cover everything from the product details to the function of the product, as well as some frequently asked questions. Now this definitely is one of the more compact jump boxes I've seen, coming in at 7¼ inches long, a little over 3¼ inches wide, a little over 1¾ inches thick, and weighing in at just a little over a pound. So let's go ahead and cruise around this thing, take a little look at everything that it has to offer. We'll start right here with our charging ports. This thing's going to come with 2 USB-A outlets as well as a Type-C. Of course, our Type-C will be where we charge the unit itself. If we turn this thing over, you will see our engine start where we plug in our jumper cables. Then on the top side here, you're going to have our flashlight function. And on the bottom side, they provide a compass as well as this little unique feature. This is actually a window brake, so if you were in an emergency situation, you had this thing handy where you needed to break a window to get out of your car, you go ahead and grab this, smack the window, and safely exit the vehicle. As far as the power button, only one button on this thing, and we've got a nice little display right here. As you can see, it comes 75% charged right out of the box. So let's go ahead and test out the power bank feature first. Now if you look on the side here, it does say that the 2 USB-As are outputs, and the USB-C is an input. Now we're going to go ahead and test it out and see if the USB-C works as an input as well, just because so many people have these Type-C charging devices these days. So let's go ahead and plug in my watch, my little light, as well as our phone, and we'll see which one charges. All right, once you got everything plugged in, go ahead and hit the power button. It's going to turn it on. We'll see our watch is charging. Our light is charging right there. As far as our phone goes though, we got nothing up here. So the Type-C does not work as a charging port. It'll only be used as an input for charging the actual unit. So before we take this thing in the field and actually jump start a battery, let's go ahead and get it charged up to 100%. As you can see, we're at about 74% right now. Going to use the provided charging cable they gave us. This thing's going to be just about 29 inches long. And again, we'll go ahead and put our USB-C side into our USB input, not an output. And then we have a USB-A side on this. Now there is no wall charger, so you're going to have your own USB-A wall charger. And once the unit is plugged in for charging, you'll see it'll show us the percentage as well as it shows you a little in right there, letting you know you have input and you're charging. Now it's about 10:13 right now. We're at 75%, so we'll see how long it takes us to charge 25%. So we're just a little after 12 noon here, so it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. It's been on 99% for about 10 minutes, so I'm going to assume it's 100% charged. Let's go ahead and get it off, test it out. Now having a power bank and a flashlight is nice and everything, but now it's time to test this thing out and make sure it's going to work when you need it in a pinch. Lucky for us, we're sitting in the granddaddy of all test vehicles, my 2000 Dodge Grand Caravan that basically just sits around and waits for me to jump it. We'll go ahead and see if we can fire this thing up. As you can see, dead as a door now. So let's go ahead and get these cables on, see if it starts it. So we'll go ahead and hit our power button just to show that we do have a full 100% charge. And to get this thing plugged in and get to using it, it's super simple, and they really do make this fairly dummy proof. There's only one way that these can go in and only one plug for them. Once you insert those, this is going to start flashing red and green. You don't have to really worry about those things hitting and sparking, as there's a ton of different protections built into this thing. Spark proof, reverse charge protection, reverse polarity protection, over current protection, over load, high and low temperature as well. So they really did make this thing pretty simple to use. Now at this point, we're simply going to connect our red to our positive, our black to our negative, and you will notice they put a positive and negative right on the clamp, so it's hard to mess it up. Clamps are pretty easy to open. And then this is going to turn green, meaning we're ready to start this thing up. All right, it started up for a second and then it died, so let's go ahead and jump it again. All I'm going to simply do is remove, plug it back in. I don't think that was on the charger as much as it is the vehicle. It's going to turn green again. We'll go ahead and start it one more time. And now we'll go ahead and unplug the unit first. Then we'll go ahead and take our charging cables off. Now we had no issues starting our vehicle with our ACMount P100 here today, but there's one other little feature I do want to point out that we just didn't have to use, and that's going to be your little force start button right here. So basically, here's how it goes. You plug this thing in, you try to start your vehicle, it doesn't want to start. You unplug it, you plug it back in, still doesn't want to start. You attempt that for a few times, and then if the battery is just so far gone you can't get it going, you plug it in one last time, you hold this force start button down for 3 seconds, and I promise this thing should start even the deadest of batteries. And after jumping our vehicle twice, let's go ahead and hit the power button and see how much juice it took. Look at that, baby. We're still at 100%. Not bad. So now let's go ahead and test out the flashlight feature on this. All we're going to do is simply hold the power button for 3 seconds and it's going to turn on. Now basically this is a 500 lumen flashlight with 3 settings. The first one's going to be always on. If we click the button again, it's going to go to the SOS. And if we click it one more time, it's going to go to a strobe. Click it again, takes us back to the always on. Now when you want to turn this thing off, simply hold it back down for 3 seconds and your flashlight shuts off. And when you're all done, you can simply put everything back in this nice storage case, so it's ready to go the next time you need to use it. Now when it comes to how long this will actually hold a charge and be usable in case of emergency, the company advertises 24 months. Now me personally, I would check these things every 10 to 12 months just to make sure they're topped off. That way I know I can count on them in an emergency situation. And if you have any issues with your ACMount unit, they do offer a 3-year warranty and 24-hour customer support. Now there is one other feature we haven't tested out yet, and that is this window breaker feature right here. Now you know the world's greatest dad is dedicated to the game, so sorry, window, we got to do this. Just kidding, not today. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the ACMount P100 car jump starter. So to close this video out, here's my 3 takeaways. Number 1, this is probably one of the smallest and most lightweight car jump starters that I have, and it's nice to have one that's just super compact, so it's not going to take up a bunch of room in your car. And number 2, I love the fact that they give you this nice hard shell carry case, so you know this thing is going to be well protected when you're not using it. And number 3, I like the fact that they make this thing pretty much dummy proof, so it's really hard to screw it up. Simply plug this in, red on positive, black on negative, and you're able to get your vehicle jump started and get where you need to go. And it's for those reasons and more, I'm going to go ahead and give the ACMount P100 a world's greatest dad thumbs up, and I say, go out and get you one. Hey, one more thing before you go. I want to let you know that the company behind this ACMount P100 car jump starter is a big fan of the world's greatest dad's in-depth and informational videos. Therefore, about a month ago, they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this product for video review purposes. Now, with that being said, all the thoughts and opinions expressed in this video were my own, and I always do my best to accurately describe any product I review. Now, I hope this video helped you out. We'll see you next time.